All right. Hey guys. So today we are going to do your junior year course selection sheet. That sheet is green. Make sure you have the correct one in front of you. And my name is Miss Lowe. I'm your school counselor for your freshman, sophomore, and junior year. So I've got you guys for one more year. Okay. So we're going to talk a lot about new classes that you've probably not seen before because junior year opens up a lot of opportunities as far as dual enrollment classes and higher level classes that you are now eligible to take, whereas you weren't eligible in the past couple of years to take those. Okay. So there's a lot of new classes that you're going to see on here. But for the most part, this course selection looks like the same course selection sheet you would have seen the past 2 years. We keep them all pretty similar. Okay. So the way this format is at the top in the boxes, these are your typically required junior classes. Okay. So each of y'all will be selecting one class in each of these boxes up top. We're going to do that with a check mark. Now, if you see this black line, everything below that is optional classes. They're electives, they're sport classes and fine art classes and foreign language, things that you may need, but for each of y'all, it may be different, okay? So you're gonna select these elective classes separately, differently than how we're gonna select the top, okay? We're gonna start with the very top ones first, okay? We're just gonna work right across in the boxes. Number one, I hate that I even have to point out this, but when you put your name up here, make sure you put your last name on there for me too, so I know exactly who you are. Make sure that's fully filled out. And if you feel comfortable giving me your phone number, there's sometimes during the summer when I'm working on scheduling, I have a quick question and I may just text you and say, hey, this is Miss Lowe. Would you rather have this class or this class? Sometimes I need to just check in with you, okay? So if you want to provide that, you can. Let's start at the very top, going across on your junior course selections, okay? What you're going to see here, I'm going to point out one thing before we get started in those boxes. If you'll look in the English box, there will be classes that are labeled with a DE beside them. That means dual enrollment. You have a dual enrollment option in your English courses, you have dual enrollment in math, and you have a dual enrollment option in your social studies classes, okay? What that means is a dual enrollment class means you're enrolled in high school, you're a high school student taking a college level course. So you're dually enrolled in both schools, both with us and both with Cleveland State, which is the school that we use for our dual enrollment classes, okay? So if you take one of these classes, you will get a grade, and that grade will earn you credit at the high school, and you will get credit through the college as well. So you're going to get 2 credits, basically, one in each location for this particular class. What I do want you to keep in mind is, number one, there are minimum requirements to get into these classes. You have to be a pretty good student meeting the requirements to get in. And then number two, if you're going to take one of these dual enrollment classes, you need to make sure that you can do a good job. You need to score either an A or a B in this class so that you can keep your college GPA up. So what happens is you start taking dual enrollment classes. These are college level classes. And if you don't do well in those classes, those start calculating into your college GPA. Those classes will show up on your college transcript, and you don't want a bad grade on your college transcript, okay? So make sure that you know you're willing to put in the work and to make the grade in those classes, okay? So let's look at your English box first. The classes that you can pick for English option for junior year are regular English, honors English, and honors English, you're going to get 3 additional points, okay? And your last option is you could do dual enrollment comp 1 that counts as your junior English, okay? To get into that comp 1 class, which is dual enrollment, you're going to need either an 18 on your English pre-ACT score, which you all should have taken in February, not February, wrong month, September of this year. As a 10th grader in September, you took that pre-ACT. So if you don't remember what your score was, you can come by my office and I can let you know what that is. But if you've taken the ACT on your own in between there, we can use ACT scores. Or if you have a 3.6 or higher GPA, we can get you into that dual enrollment class, okay? So this is how it works when I'm scheduling your classes. If you say, hey, Miss Lowe, I'm gonna sign up to be an Honors English 11. That's great. It's going to put you on a list for Honors English 11 for me, and I'm going to check your scores to make sure you qualify to be in that class. Same thing for dual enrollment, okay? I'm going to check and make sure you belong in that class. And if you get into that class, excellent. But guess what? I always have students that come and say, well, I'm a good English student. Why didn't I get into honors English? If you don't ask for honors English or you don't ask for dual enrollment English, we will not put you in there. You have to select that on your course selection and tell me you want to be considered for that class. So if you think you want to be in those upper level classes, go ahead and select them. Even if you don't know if you have the qualifying score to be in there, select them anyways, okay? So that you have a chance of getting in there. If you do not select it, I will not consider you for either of those upper level honors classes, okay? And any dual enrollment class does count towards being an honor graduate. Keep that in mind. You are working towards 4 honors classes for honor graduates and a 93 GPA or higher. So keep that in mind, okay? So that is your English options. You will be selecting one of those with a check mark, okay? As we go along, if you have questions, drop them in the chat box, teachers, if any of the students have questions, and I'm going to come back at the end and answer those. Cool. Okay, moving on to math. So when we get to math junior year, you're going to get back into algebra. This is algebra 2, and we're going to go back to the same format that you saw freshman year, which was algebra 1 all year long. You had an A portion and a B portion. You're going to get back into that. So junior year algebra is all year long, which means it takes up 2 class spots on your schedule, okay? The only way out of that is if you're a good math student and you want to take honors algebra 2 with Miss Swallows, we will put you in that class if you have qualifying scores. But I'm going to tell you, she's going to move you through that class so fast, your head's going to spin. You've got to be able to keep up, but you get algebra 1 done in 1 semester, half the year, and you're done with it, okay? If you think you want to take honors algebra 2, we've got some extra things for you guys, okay? So if you want to take honors algebra 2, that comes first semester in the fall of next year. After you finish that, we want you to consider one of 2 things. You can go directly into honors pre-calculus with Miss Swallows. It is a statewide dual credit course. That's what the SWDC means, okay? That means you can take a test at the end of the course, and if you pass that test, you get college credit for that class. Say you don't pass the test. That's cool. You still get your grade for that class. That test has no bearing on your grade whatsoever, okay? You can still ace that class and not pass the test and not get college credit. It's totally fine. But if you pass that test and get college credit, which we've had students do, that's awesome. You'll have pre-calculus college credit, okay? Your other option is if you have taken honors algebra 2, first semester, second semester, if you want to go into dual math classes, we do have several dual math options, okay? You will be in a dual class with senior level students, and the dual math classes are all computer based. So they're not taught by a teacher standing in front of you. They're all on the computer, okay? So if you think you want to do any of those upper level courses, go ahead and select them. Push come to shove, if you don't qualify or meet score requirements, I'll just bump you back down to regular algebra 2. It's not a big deal. But if you want to challenge yourself, try and go for those upper level classes, okay? Sign up for them and we'll see where it lands. Okay, going into science. So science, this is how we work it. You need 3 sciences in order to graduate. The first one is usually physical science or ag science. The second one is typically biology. The third one is chemistry typically. Y'all should all have taken at least a physical science or ag science. And most of you have taken biology this year. If you have not taken biology, you need to sign up for biology, okay? If you have taken biology, the next science is chemistry. You need to sign up for chemistry. Now, in the event that we have a few students that actually have finished chemistry already, y'all are some stellar students. If that's you, I want you to consider either taking honors physics or honors biology 2. We're going to see how many kids sign up for those classes to see if we can make those classes. But what we don't want is if you've already finished chemistry, you've got your 3 sciences under your belt, you don't want to go junior and senior year, no sciences whatsoever, and then go into college and they're going to require you to take a science class and you haven't seen science in a couple of years. You need to consider one of those upper level, honors level science classes if you have finished chemistry, okay? It's not required. just consider it, okay? But make sure you have one check mark in the science box somewhere, okay? Moving on to social studies. So for social studies, if you'll recall, freshman year, you took world history. Then we typically skip 10th grade, and you're going to do your second social studies class during junior year. That is U.S. history. So you can either take regular U.S. history, or you can take dual American history. It is a dual enrollment class, college level class. It is taught by a college professor that comes to the school a couple of days a week, and he teaches the class. The other days of the week, you report to class and you do the work that he's assigned, whether that be papers, whether it be article reviews, things of that nature. But you do get college credit for this class, and the requirements are listed there, what you need to have in order to qualify for that class. Okay. So those are your 4 basic classes that all juniors are going to take. Now let's add these up though. You have 8 class spots. You're going to take English. Most of you will take math, and it will take you 2 classes to get finished with Algebra 2. Then you're going to take a science. Then you're going to take a social studies. So for most of you, you've already selected 5 classes. We have 3 more classes we need to place on your schedule. And what we're going to do is use all of the electives below this black bar, and we're going to fill in the rest of your schedule. I will not knock out one of your academic classes, required classes, in order to fill in electives. I always do academics first, and then we take your electives and see which ones fit into your schedule, okay? So look below the black bar, and what we're gonna do, from here down, you get to choose 6 classes. Now, I can't fit all 6 of those on your schedule, okay? So you need to tell me which one you want the most and which one would be your least requested. You're gonna do that by assigning the number 1 to the most, your class that you're like, I have to have that, Miss Lowe, I have to. And then realize as you go down, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, when you get to number 6, most likely that class won't end up on your schedule. But if you have a lot of schedule conflicts, say you wanted to have Bible history and you wanted to have business communications with Miss Thomason, and those 2 classes are only offered once and they're offered at the same time, I can't give you both. I will give you whichever one has the highest number on it, okay? Which one you wanted the most. So we're going to list these in preference order, and you're going to list 6 of these, okay? Don't stop at number 2. Don't stop at number 4. You need to list 6 for me to work through, okay? So let's look at these. The first column in these electives are some classes that you may have already taken, but if you haven't, we need to talk about you taking them. So look up at the top under physical education and personal finance, okay? Most of you have already taken lifetime wellness. That is a requirement in order to graduate. If you've already taken it, awesome. Right underneath it, you've got fitness and personal finance. This is your second part of your physical education, and this is your personal finance requirement, okay? So if you've already taken wellness, we're good. We're going to move on to personal finance and fitness. This typically is taken junior or senior year, okay? So if you don't want to take it this year, that's fine. That's totally fine. But if you want it as one of your options, make sure it's listed on there. The way it works is any class listed with a 0.5 at the end, you'll see fitness and personal finance both have that half credit on there, okay? If you want fitness and personal finance, you can sign up for both of those. We'll give you those 2 together, because half and half equals a whole. It makes a whole class slot, okay? But I want you to consider this. If you have participated in any sport in high school, you can actually waive this fitness credit and you don't have to take it. But hear me out. We do need you to take personal finance. That's a half credit. We're going to have another half credit to pair with it. So your only other option to pair with personal finance, if you're not going to take fitness, your only other option is to go down here, and under the electives, you're going to see ACT Prep. You can have a half of a semester of ACT Prep, whether it be English ACT Prep or Math ACT Prep, and you can pair that with personal finance, and we can totally waive that fitness credit if you have participated in a sport here at Polk County High School. It can be football or basketball during the day, that'll waive it. Or if you did soccer or golf, anything after school sports-wise counts as well. You can waive that fitness class, but if you're going to take personal finance, we need to pair it with ACT Prep if you're going to waive that fitness, okay? I hope that's clear as mud. Moving down, the next block of classes is your foreign language. If you have not taken that, you need to take it this year. Most of you have already gotten that out of the way, okay? But if you have not taken it, you need to sign up for it junior year. Looking at the electives, next one down. Some of these electives we've had for the past few years, but I want you to pay close attention because we've added a few extra, okay? So underneath here, if you'll look towards the bottom, of course, we've split ACT Prep up to where you can choose either English or math. We have added on current events. We've had that in the past and we're bringing it back, hopefully, if enough of you sign up for it. We're also going to add in Tennessee history, psychology. We've got computer science, which is the AP course that Mr. Dewey has taught before. And we also have a class called Lead Worthy. It is a leadership class. Now, these classes will be offered if we have enough kids that sign up and want to take them. So if you want to take them, it needs to be on your sheet so we have enough kids. If we've only got 2 kids that sign up for one of those classes, we're obviously not going to put that class in the master schedule. Okay, so keep that in mind. This last class down here that's Lead Worthy, this is a leadership class. It will be application only. And if you want more information on this, we're only taking about 15 to 20 kids into this class. You need to come to a meeting during CAT time this Thursday, like in 2 days. Coach Heineman is going to be doing the meeting and he's going to tell you about Lead Worthy. It is a leadership class and we're going to be offering it next year. So if you want more information, make sure you come to that meeting. Some of your teachers may have already mentioned it to you. If they see you as an outstanding leader already, they may have mentioned it to you and said, hey, you would be a good student for this class. I want you to look for it and sign up for it. Consider taking it, okay? So that will be this Thursday. Coach Hyman is going to do a CAT time meeting about Lead Worthy and explain to you what that leadership class is going to be, okay? It will be a credit-bearing class. So, all right, right under it, the next little box, you'll see your online class options. We did our test run this current year on offering some online classes and it went really well. So next year, we're going to continue to offer these electives. So if you'll look down that list, just know that if you select one of these courses, it's totally online. It will be on your schedule. You will have a class period that you go to a location, a room in the building, and you have an opportunity to work on your online work. But you understand that this is a self-paced, self-motivated class. You don't have a teacher giving you instruction every day right in front of you. It's totally online. So if you don't finish your work during the school day, you will need to finish it after school on the weekends to make sure you get that finished, okay? If you don't finish that online course, you get a failing grade. It's just like a regular class scheduled here. It's just all the material happens online, okay? So pretty much that's a rundown of the electives and different offerings on this first column. Now let's move to these next 2 columns, okay? These last 2 columns encompass all of our career technical education groupings or programs of study. I'm going to remind you, you need 3 classes in one career area in order to graduate, okay? So we can't take 2 of Mr. Dewey's web design classes and then you take 1 of Ms. Womack's agriculture classes and say, I've got my 3 CTE classes to graduate. They have to match, okay? So most of you, pretty much all of you, should have started in some kind of career area already. Keep this in mind. When you see these career areas listed, I have listed the classes in the order that you need to take them. So we'll go, for example, agriculture. That's the easiest one for me to explain. Look at agriculture about halfway down, middle of the page. If you have not taken ag science, do not sign up for vet science. I will not give it to you, okay? You have to start in ag science first, entry-level class, okay? So keep that in mind as you're going through any of these career offerings, you have to start in the first level intro class. Let me also remind you, if you take 3 fine arts, any mix of these listed here under fine arts, that can count as your fine art focus. That is considered a CTE career focus, and you'll be good to graduate. Same thing with sports that's listed here. If you participated for 3 years in basketball or football, because they're offered during the school day, that counts as your career focus. So you don't have that pressure to get 3 classes in one of these other career areas. That sports or that fine art covers your career focus. Same thing for band. If you do band for 3 years or touch of class choir, That covers your elective focus and you're good to go, okay? As long as you participate for 3 years. So make sure you look down and peruse these offerings. If, I will tell you, if you're like, okay, I need to finish up my 3rd level class for Ms. Womack for agriculture, but I'm also interested in Ms. Thomason's business program, and I might want to take a class in that one too. That's cool. You can do that. Sign up for Ms. Womack's 3rd level, whatever class you need to finish out her program, and sign up for the 1st level with Miss Thomason in the business program, okay? You still have to go back and start with Miss Thomason's 1st level if you've never taken any of her classes. Or if you're like, hey, I want to do the new construction or welding program, you still have to beginning the 1st level class in either of those programs. But can you take classes in 2 different career programs this year? Absolutely, you sure can. Now let me point out a couple of different things that are happening this year, okay? So if you'll look down at the very bottom of the middle column, Miss Jackson, her health science program, this past year it was focused on nursing. This coming year, we're gonna focus on pharmacy tech. So if you're interested in that, the pharmacy tech classes are listed there at the bottom, and there are 2 classes listed together because if you sign up for those, it is 2 classes that you have to take back to back in 2nd semester, okay? To get into those classes, remember, they're listed in order. You have to have taken the other 3 classes with Miss Jackson in order to get into that pharmacy tech one, okay? Now, let me give you another scenario. If you're interested in mechatronics, it's listed in that 3rd column towards the top. That's with Travis Carroll. So the way mechatronics works, if you'll look down there, the 3rd level class is called Dual Mechatronics 1 and 2. If you sign up for that, you're going to be signing up for 2 classes together with Coach Carroll. You need to have taken either Principles of Manufacturing or Digital Electronics to get into that dual enrollment mechatronics class, but that is true dual enrollment classes with Cleveland State, okay? So if you're wanting to do that, that's totally cool. You can go ahead and start your mechatronics certificate program with Cleveland State your junior year in high school. How cool is that, that you can go ahead and start on that path? And all these dual enrollment classes do is cut down the amount of time that you're going to have to take classes in college. So you're getting a leg up. You're getting started early in college and getting high school credit for the same classes. It's a win-win situation as long as you can do well in those classes. You don't want to make a C or a bad grade in those classes or fail those classes, and then those classes are on your college transcript. You do not want that at all, okay? See if there's anything else. I think everything else is pretty straightforward. Of course, I'm going to answer questions here in just a minute, and I do want to let you know that these course requests are due on Monday, like next Monday, like 6 days from now, okay? You've got to get these turned in so we can get them in the computer quickly. So make sure you have this green form turned in by Monday. If you want to today, if you're like, I know what courses I'm taking, like this was easy, go ahead and turn it into your Cat Time teacher. They will get it to me. You'll know it's done. Then you don't have to worry about losing the sheet or forgetting to turn it in. But if you need to take it home and show it to your parents, since this video is being recorded, if you need your parents to see this video, we will get you the link of this recording, and your parents can watch this video too and walk through the course selection with you to make sure you're making the best choices for you, okay? But keep in mind, this has to be turned in by May 3rd. Now, let me look real quick at the chat box and kind of watching our time. We've got a few more minutes. Okay. Miss Swallows, can you point out that Pre-Cal does not use lottery money? Yes. So let me talk about what Miss Swallows is alluding to. When she says lottery money, she's talking about with these dual classes, these college level classes that you're eligible to take starting junior year, there is dual lottery money that can pay totally for these courses or pay for a portion of these courses. So what you can expect is at the end of this year, we will have Cleveland State coming and go ahead and pre-registering some students that want to take dual enrollment, okay? Even though we don't know 100% for sure if you're going to be taking it next year, if you indicate that you're interested in a dual enrollment course, we're going to go ahead and get you meeting with Cleveland State at the end of this year. Then we'll have another meeting at the beginning of your junior year to where your parents come, and we will talk about the cost for taking dual enrollment courses, okay? There is money involved because it is a college level course, but there is also lottery money that could pay for that to where you could take it for free. Let me point out though, our pre-calculus class, that's a statewide dual credit. It does not cost anything to take that class. So if on the math selection, if you want to take one of these higher level courses, but you're worried about the cost of it, know that taking honors algebra 2 and then pairing it with honors pre-cal will cost you $0 to get those credits, okay? And you possibly could still earn college credit if you pass that pre-calculus test. So the only classes that are listed as DE, dual enrollment, those are the ones that do use either grant money or you may have to pay some out of pocket, okay? Does health science, next question, does health science count as the first science? It does not. It does not count as a true science course. So when I'm talking about 3 sciences that you need to graduate, the first one can be physical science, it can be ag science, or if you're in the medical program, your anatomy and physiology class can count as that additional science, okay? But health science cannot count as that extra one. The other 2 that you have to have that's required by the state is specifically biology, has to be on your transcript, and chemistry has to be on your transcript. So other than biology and chemistry, that third one, you kind of get to pick what it is, but health science does not count for that. The next question, Ms. Lowe, does A&P substitute for science? Yes, it does. So if you're in the medical pathway with Ms. Jackson, typically what sciences you would have taken is you would have started in biology, then you would have taken chemistry last year. Your next one will be anatomy and physiology in the health science program, and that will finish out your sciences. Cool, huh? Okay. Do you have to take chemistry before honors physics? No, you don't. Do I recommend it? Yes. And the reason I recommend it is this: chemistry is required, honors physics is not. So what I would say is go ahead and get your requirement out of the way, make sure we meet graduation requirements, and then if you feel like going on and taking an upper level honors class physics, then take it. If you want to take both next year, chemistry and honors physics, sign up for them both. And what I will do is I will try and count or put chemistry first semester, honors physics second semester, if we can work that out. Okay, I will put them in separate semesters and try to get both of them in there. Okay, does honors physics count as a science? Yes, it does. It's listed under our science box, counts as a science, but let me throw a wrench in everything I've kind of said. I've told everybody that of your 3 sciences, the highest, the last one that's required is chemistry, but the state actually says it can be chemistry or physics. So technically, you could take physics instead of chemistry if you want to. But what do I recommend? Because physics is an honors class, there it's going to push you into the higher level, like science theories and things like that, more so than chemistry will. I feel like you will do better at honors physics if you take chemistry first. Just my recommendation. But can you do away with chemistry and just take honors physics? Yes, you can. Do I know for sure if honors physics is definitely going to be on the schedule yet next year? I don't know that. It depends on how many kids sign up, okay? Next question, Ms. Lowe says, can you take government economics as a junior? The answer is yes. So what I want you to consider though is, do you want to take US history and government economics all in the same year? So you're done and you don't have a senior level government economics social studies that you need to take. So that's one thing you need to ask yourself. Second thing, are you going to take dual enrollment American history this year as a junior and take government economics? Are you trying to double up? If so, not opposed to that. I just won't put them in the same semester. Okay. I don't want you to have 2 of those back to back. Third thing you need to consider is we do offer an honors government and economics option, and that is senior year. If you want to get in on government and economics and you want to do the honors section of government and economics and you want to take US history this year, we need to talk. Can you do it? Yes, but we need to specifically look at your schedule and see what you're giving up in order to fit that on your schedule. I take it a case-by-case scenario, but the answer is yes, you can take government and economics junior year for some students that choose to do that, okay? Just make sure at some point you've got to get US history in, because that's a mandatory requirement, and you also have to take government and economics, mandatory requirement, whether they're both in junior year or one senior, one junior year, it's a wash either way. Is dual history going to be offered first period again next year? I don't know. To be honest, we're still in talks with Cleveland State, so I'm not sure. We've moved it around before from first to third period. I'm not sure what it's going to land at for next year. Next question, can juniors still take physical science? Yes, but do you see my face? You probably don't want to. Like, it's a freshman level course. I don't really want to put juniors in there. So if you come to me and tell me why you need physical science, then we'll talk about whether that's a good option for you. Let's kind of leave it at that. I know, Miss Lowe, I usually know everything. I pretty much do know everything, but I didn't want to seem too boastful on here. Just kidding. I don't know everything, guys. And really, when it comes to junior year, I'll leave y'all with this, okay? Because I think we've hit all the questions. I'll leave y'all with this. Junior year is really case-by-case scenario. Y'all have taken so many classes at this point that when you get to junior year, it's where you kind of start separating yourself. Maybe some of your friends are taking business classes and you're over here taking web design classes. Some of your friends are in agriculture, but you are choosing to focus on dual enrollment classes instead of extra CTE classes or career classes. Some of your friends are still playing football and basketball, and that's where their focus is, and you're taking dual enrollment classes instead. Or maybe you have a friend that's taking dual enrollment and basketball, and it's a lot. But each of y'all, it's going to be a case-by-case scenario. So if you truly have questions on this, just come by my office. You know where I'm found. Come hit me up and I'll answer any questions I can, okay? But also keep this in mind, we have not made our master schedule. So I can't really tell you if something's going to be offered first period or third period just yet. That happens during the summer. One last thing, during the summer, we do release schedules early. I would encourage you, come pick your schedule up, okay? Come look at it before school starts. And if we need to change anything at that point, it's a great time to do it because we want to start the first day of school in the classes that you're going to be in so that there as few changes as possible after the first day. It just makes the start of school a lot smoother. Okay. I think that's it. Don't forget about the Leadworthy Thursday meeting during CAT time, okay, with Coach Heineman, and make sure you turn these in by May 3rd. I think that's my last thing. So guys, thanks for hopping on the Zoom today. If you have any further questions, come find me in my office, and I will record this video and get this out to you teachers so that you can pass it on to any students that missed today's video call, okay? Thanks, guys. You are awesome. We will see y'all later.